it's good to be back. I had a wonderful girls' trip and a less than wonderful work week. Holidays tend to either be the best or the worst time to be a nurse, but I digress. Today's video will be about two of the scandals currently facing the royal family that have come out in the past week-ish. The first being Charles's pay-to-play scandal, not his first scandal of this kind, for him actually, followed by Andrew being physically protected by the crown at various states, preventing him from being served in the latest American lawsuit. Let's get into it. To start this whole Charles thing, we have to talk about Michael Fawcett. Fawcett started his career with the royal family as a teenager back in 1981, where he quickly became part of Charles's quote-unquote inner circle of staff. Over the years, he's faced several bullying allegations from other staff members. Most seriously, I would argue, is that he's allegedly a racist. Fawcett fits a pattern with other senior staff close to senior members of the family in that he has no formal education or training. But multiple biographers and royal reporters have claimed that he exerted control over Charles's household. I think, most importantly, Princess Diana hated him. Charles famously said, "I can manage without just about anyone, except for Michael." This has seemingly proven to be true, given that Fawcett has repeatedly been a public embarrassment to Charles, yet was repeatedly promoted, and received the MVO in 2000. Fawcett resigned from the royal family in 2003 after yet another scandal, this time including a press injunction and a rumored affair between Fawcett and Charles, which, I mean, what the heck? I'm not even going to touch that. Despite this, he has remained close to Charles both personally and professionally, heading up the prince's trust for a number of years. So, what are the current allegations? Basically, back in 2016, Prince Charles gave a Saudi businessman an honorary CBE in a private ceremony that was not recorded on the court circular. So, already we aren't off to a great start. Turns out, this Saudi businessman had donated more than £1.5 million to Charles's charities. Importantly, some of that money went towards restoring residences that Charles actually uses. Fawcett then wrote a letter to the businessman's aide that, quote, "We are happy to support businessman's citizenship and are willing to apply for his CBE to become a KBE. Notably, that would mean he could go by Sir." It's a very standard pay-for-play or, quote, golden visa situation. Of course, Charles has denied any of this, stating he knew nothing, which is awfully convenient. Fawcett has once again stepped back temporarily from working with Charles. And of course, the Prince's Trust is investigating itself. Again, awfully convenient. Charles says he has total confidence in this investigation, and boy, I would too. Charles has also been reported to the police, but they have a history of being not so good at investigating the royals. I would just like to note here that Charles has gone harder for Fawcett than he ever did for his own son Harry. I think this story is interesting for many reasons. The first is just the general ick of any pay-to-play scandal. The second is, if proven to be true, Charles pretty clearly broke at least two pretty serious laws. And the third is that just a few days ago, Twitter was up in arms about a possible cheating scandal between Charles and Catherine Fitzgerald, Dominic West's wife, the guy who's about to play Charles in The Crown. Now, do I think these affair rumors are true? To be honest, probably not. But I do think that we should pay attention to the timing of both of these things. Cheating rumors online, then days later a full-blown pay-to-play scandal? It's interesting. Also, the trailer for Spencer came out recently, and anytime Diana is in the news, it's not good news for Chuck. I joked the other day that someone has a press hit out on Charles. It's also, to be honest, kind of refreshing to go back to the pre-Meghan Markle era of senior royals briefing against each other. The outlet that originally broke the story was the Sunday Times, an outlet who has spent a lot of time recently snuggling up to Prince William, and, like other UK news outlets, has been doing a pretty good job at ignoring Prince Andrew. Could we be looking at a war between Windsors round 2? I have theorized before that the firm, to a degree, has given up on Prince Charles's image and instead has focused its energy into preserving Prince William's reputation at all costs. I would argue there have been signs for a while now that there is discord between Kensington Palace and Clarence House. Is this just an escalation? We'll have to wait to find out. Now, let's go back to Prince Andrew for a second. Apparently, after briefly returning to the Royal Lodge in Windsor, Andy is back at Balmoral after there have been reports that attempts were made to serve him for the American lawsuit. I think it's important to note that in both the US and probably more importantly the UK, purposefully dodging being served is illegal. The Queen is now harboring someone who, again, is doing something illegal. So, just to recap, Prince Charles is being accused of being pretty incredibly corrupt. Prince Andrew is being accused of assaulting teenage trafficking victims. And still, the UK press decides to run page after page about Harry and Meghan. Meghan Markle, who hasn't even been seen in public for months. Above all, the family continues to go out of its way to protect men accused of serious crimes, while there is little to no evidence that the same protection was ever even offered to Harry and Meghan. It's gross.